Good morning, students. I am Dr. Rajesh Kashyap. Today I am going to talk about the cloud migration. Right. So, cloud migration is what when you are going to use your application or the software which you want to apply, which you want to send your application or the data on the cloud. So, what you are going to plan, what you are going to have, how you are going to plan. That is what the important into the cloud migration process. So when you're running your application in the public cloud has a several costs and efforts, benefits, right? So when you are going to move your application, when you are going to move your software, when you are going to move your database, everything that is going to give you the some cost benefit because cloud is service-based utility, right? So many organizations are planning and preparing to move their application to the cloud to reduce the capital expenses and the support and administrative cost. As you know, in the cloud computing, you don't have to bear the cost of the software, you don't have to bear the cost of the hardware or the administration or the maintenance or the technical stuff, so that you are not going to bear the cost. So moving into the cloud computing require a lot of planning because you need to determine what it costs to run the same server in the public cloud before you can finalize to move. So unless until you plan, unless until you know that how it is going to cost you, how it is going to be benefited for your organization, you cannot move to the cloud, right? So also after the move, you need to continually focus on how to optimize your cloud-based application in order to increase the cost saving, right? So you have to take care of that also, right? What are the key steps for migrating your server and application to the public cloud? Is first, you have to take the inventory. What is this? So accessing your existing application on premises infrastructure resources that support them and the workload interdependency. So you have to take an inventory of an infrastructure that include details about the server, software, network, devices, and storage. So you have to take the decision that what are the things you want to apply, whatever the things you want to put on the server, on the cloud, right? Second is evaluate the application. So access the opportunity to migrate, analyze the benefit of migrating to the cloud, and determine which part of infrastructure, which part of IT portfolio do you want to migrate. It doesn't mean that you have to uh, move or migrate each and everything on the cloud. No, not at all. You need to evaluate whether it is beneficial to migrate your architecture, your business services, your machines, or your applications to the cloud. Then prepare to the migrating plan, right? So before that, you don't have to go for this migration. And before you are moving, you have to perform a preliminary assessment of the cost difference for running the application on premises and versus in the cloud. So if you have to calculate that what will be the cost of putting your uh, application, your data, your server, and all in the premises or on the cloud. So which is the cost benefit, right? So while moving to the cloud has some very obvious advantages such as cost benefit, scalability, agility, and performance enhancement. Migrating to the cloud has to be well thought out and structured plan. So you have to plan in proper way, in a structured way whenever you are going to move into the cloud. Cloud migration does not mean simply lifting and shifting your application to the cloud platform, right? So we cannot make like this. We have to put something, we have to copy, and we are going to paste. Not like that. Unless until you plan, it is not going to work properly. Instead, it is involve accessing the application architecture and check if it is compatible with the technology stack of the cloud platform. Means what can the service provider which is providing this kind of services, they are compatible with your system or not, your application, your database, your operating system, and all. So that we must keep into the mind. Moving an application that has a stateful architecture to the cloud will hardly benefit from the move, as it will be the difficult to deploy, and despite the move the application will not be able to scale up. So that is also we have to make the consideration whenever we are going to move our stateful architecture to the cloud, right? So that is also we have to keep into the mind. Hence, the first step towards cloud migration will involve defining the goals and objectives behind the cloud migration, and then accessing if the transfer to the cloud will have an return on investment or not, because you have to pay for that, because you are going to use the cloud services and that is going to be chargeable pay per usage, right? So along with this, organizations should have a business continuity plan in place and be prepared for natural or man-made vulnerabilities that can be potentially disrupt the business. So this is also one kind of security concern when we are moving to the cloud. Then what will be the chances of uh, not accessing my data? What will happen? Natural or man-made problem created, vulnerability, disrupt, DOS attack, or something which we have already talked about the cloud security concern, right, into the previous my video. So organizations thus should look at building in more diversity into the disaster recovery and design system that can run on different infrastructure to ensure business continuity at all the times and ensure foolproof and smooth cloud migration. So you have to plan in such a way that in all the cases, in all the situation, your data must be accessible to you in any manner. Okay. To migrate to the cloud, successful organizations need to evaluate the application by accessing the business drivers, outcome and restrictions, the architecture and technology, and service performance and availability, and then recognize the expected benefit. So unless until we plan, we cannot decide that what is the benefit over moving from in, inside premises to the cloud, right? So the primary consideration for successful cloud migration begin with the assessment of network infrastructure. So we must take care of these things. Organization looking to migrate to the cloud hence have to move away from traditional network infrastructure and move to well-designed cloud optimized infrastructure that enables, right? That enables the traffic optimization for the key business application, support delivery diversity, reliable and predictable WAN performance. These network considerations enable high quality application performance and deliver greater visibility and control. Apart from this, there are some other areas that organization need to look into to make the cloud migration process simple and effortless. So you have to maintain, you have to go through, you have to understand that traffic optimization, support device diversity, reliable and predictable wireless network, the network consideration of high quality application performance delivery and controls. So these all are the things that we have to keep into the mind, right? Other than that, we have to make an infrastructure inventory. To understand the scope of the migration efforts, organizations need to evaluate their application inventory and collate all the information regarding the number of scripts, program, and external interface, including the hardware and software configuration information. So you have to know that what is the infrastructure, what are the configuration, what are the things into your system, and how you're going to move into the cloud of their infrastructure. Once this is done, the organization need to assess their application and decide which application will benefit from the move to the cloud and which can be managed in-house. That is also we have to maintain. Taking a look at the application architecture becomes critical in determining this. Legacy applications, sensitive data, mission critical application, and workloads should ideally not be the cloud migration front runner, as these are critical to the businesses. Assessing the applications dependency first when planning to cloud move thus help in a smooth transition and also reduces the downtime, right? So we have to also understand the cost evaluation that we have already discussed. The key driver to the cost effective efficiency as to move the cloud reduces hardware and IT staffing expenses. Then we have to reap the complete benefit of cloud migration. Choosing the right cloud environment plays a very important role, as each of these model have own their own set of advantages. High regulated industries such as finance and healthcare cannot leverage the public cloud because of the multi-tenancy, lack of control on the highly scalable environment. Okay. So with private cloud, organization have an on-premises environment that offers greater control. That being said, cloud management then falls entirely on the organization's shoulder, right? So with hybrid cloud, organization get the best both of world, but have to be prepared for performance issues such as latency and dependency. You have to measure concern about the security and the governance and the legals and the laws of different countries of your country and the cloud service provider country, that you have to keep into the mind. Then you must have to provide the training to the developer and the staff for moving your application to the cloud. So developer need to be retrained in writing application that can be leverage your cloud resources well, and your staff must be trained on the security implications. Okay.